All right. So this is going to be log properties. So there's three main log properties, plus a couple more, but three main ones. The first one is log base A plus log base B, or not base B, but just B. That, if you add it together, becomes log A times B. Guys, please, I'm trying to record. And then, so when you add, you turn to a multiplication. I'm just talking to myself. I'm talking to the video, to be fair. Log base, or log B, you're going to divide. So log A divided by B. If you're multiplying, so let's do like B log A, that means I could put the B to the top as an exponent. So log A to the B power. So these three things are your logs. Rules. There's an alternate rule about solving a log. So for example, if you have log 3 to the 7th, you would rewrite this as a change of base formula. So the base will be on the bottom and the normal number would be on top. So in this case, log 7 over log 3. Which means you would take your calculator and then you would do log 7. Make sure you close the parentheses or you're going to make a mistake. Log 3. So your answer in that case is 1.77. 1.77. Log base 3.7 is 1.77. Be a section where we do two parts to it. Let's say like log 2 equals and log 3 equals. Let me just check on the calculator what these are. Log 2 equals this. Log 3 equals that. So 3.301. And log 3 is 0.477. So I could give you questions where you use the log exponents or the log products in order to do the math. For example, if log base 2 is 3.301 and log base 3 is 0.477, if I had something like log base 6, I could rewrite it as log 2 plus log 3. Well, I know what log 2 is, 0.301, and I know what log 3 is, 0.477. So you add that together, and you get 778. Log 8, you could rewrite that as log 2 times 2 times 2, or if you want to make it shorter, 2 to the third power. Which means I'm going to rewrite this as 3 log 2. I know what log 2 is. Log 2 is 0.301, which means your final answer is 0.903.
So putting a number to the left of something is basically like
Raising the power, yes. Okay. The last video I made plus this video should cover everything. Yes. Yes.
Those numbers.
Yeah.
Just by giving us those two, that's the numbers. You can give us like certain like two values.
Mm-hmm.
Different answers.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's do what I would say is the trickier one I could give you. Let's say log 1.5.
Don't give a tricky one.
I love giving tricky ones. Well, I have no clue how to get 1 to 0.5, so maybe I should change it to a fraction. So that's log 3 over 2. Wait a second. I know what to do with log 3 over 2. Log 3 minus log 2. I know what 3 is. 0.477 minus log 2, which is 0.301. Subtract that. That is going to be 176.176.
Wait, why don't I do 0.477 over 0.301?
That's when it's inside the same log. I don't know what log 3 over 2 is. I only know what log 2 is by itself and log 3 is by itself. So I have to rewrite it as log 3 minus log 2 in order to use those two terms. Now, someone might say, guys, it's also recorded, just to remind you again. Anyway, on the test, or in this situation, you could technically put this on your calculator, but on the test, I'm going to put a variable x as the base, just so it would be possible to do it on the calculator. So you got to be able to know how to do this stuff.
0.176.
That one, yeah. All right, so there's two things we're going to also do: condense and expand. Let me just type it. Condense and expand.
Is that recorded?
Yes.
Oh my god. I'm gonna cheat on my boyfriend. Wait, this is a review, right?
Yeah. So condensing is when I give you a bunch of logs that are separated by pluses or minus, and I condense them to one log. And expanding is the reverse. I give you one condense, and then you get spread it to minuses. Log 3 plus 2 log x minus 3 log y. Yeah, go ahead.
Or should I get 3, honestly?
Get 2 and then put 1 in the back so no one does the short. I know, get 2 and then put 1 in the back. Or get 3 and then put 1 in the back, I'm sorry. All right, to condense this, every time I see a plus sign, I know I'm multiplying. Every time I see a minus sign, I'm going to subtract. But I do have these numbers in front, so I want to move those to the top. So I'm going to rewrite this as log 3 plus log x squared minus log y to the third. From there, now I'm going to condense it all.
Wait, when you move it, the thing becomes.
Oh my god.
Yes, the thing becomes exponent.
It pushes the thing up. So now the
That's if you're doing it over the equal sign. That's like solving. We're just condensing here. So it's going to be log 3x squared divided by y to the third.
Do you have an extra pencil?
I do.
Okay. So condensing is you have multiple and you combine them. Expanding is the opposite basically. So you're going to give you a single log. Let's say log 7 x to the third divided by a y.
Wait, how do you condense it? The previous one. How do you condense log 3x over?
Oh my god. I think this is the actual.
Because if I see a plus sign, that means 3 and x squared are going to be multiplied.
Taking the test?
Oh, so
And when I subtract, I divide it by y to the third.
if they're the same,
How do I restart?
Yes.
they cancel out. Or they just.
Because I'm only simplifying,
It was just one question.
there's no canceling out. I'm just condensing.
Division.
Don't say
Like what if
Don't
let's
say
say
anything.
I like I said let's say log let's say log 2 over log over log 4. Do the logs cancel out?
No. No, they don't. No, they don't.
Oh.
Okay?
Okay, well, good thing I know.
All right. So you're going to expand this. Things that are multiplied are going to be positive, while things that are divided. Guys, I'm screaming over you. Stop talking. But things that are divided is going to be subtraction.
I also actually took the question too.
So log 7
I thought
plus 3 log, and then put 1 in the back for log x. I bring the 3 to the front because it was an exponent, so I brought this to the front. Minus log a minus log y.
But mine are so, my first were all like.
They're all spread out.
Oh, mine's the same.
Only simple things are inside the logs. So we're good. That's expanding.
Wait,
Mhm.
Did you like you have to say like hi, my name is Christine?
why would it become log 21?
Log 21.
Yeah, because you do multiplication.
This is not 3 times 7. Log 7, which is inside a log, then is 3 times log x, which is inside its own log. They're not 7 times 3. It's not even 7 plus 3. So it's not even.
So it's 7x cubed because the 3 goes on top of the x.
Yes.
So it becomes log.
Before, it would look like this log x cubed, which then you move to the bottom.
Wait, in the log. Wait.
It's so awkward.
Yeah, go ahead.
In general, so you're telling me this log here
Yes.
is just inside parentheses like this, and then they would require.
Yeah, that's all within a log, yeah.
Ah, because I was like, where'd the log go?
Oh, that's fine, that's
It
fine.
looks weird. I don't know.
That's fine. All right. And then we're going to just say solve logs without show your work. So let's say if I ask you, what is log base 2 32? So if I give you this question, what you're going to do is set it equal to x. Then I would move the 2 to the other side. So it becomes 32 equals 2 to the x power. From here, you figure out 2 to what power gives you 32. 2 to the first power is 2, so that's not it. 2 to the second power is 4, that's not it. 2 to the third power is 8, that's not it. 2 to the fourth power is 16, that's not it. 2 to the fifth power is 32. So if 2 to the fifth power is 32, that means that x equals 5 in this case. AKA log base 2 32 equals 5.
Girl, do you know it?
So this is now we're solving for the what the exponent is.
You're solving a log. That's all you're doing. Solving a log.
Where does the log go though? Because it would become log 32.
So log,
You're so unreliable.
what's up?
Where would the log go? Because I feel like 2 on the other side, so the log cancels out.
Yeah, so what technically you're doing is bringing a base 2 here and a base 2 here. And here's a generic rule, I guess. Let me talk about property. The property is
Go with your gut, go with your gut. I'm using my notebook.
if log base A and A, that cancels out to 1. But it also works in reverse. A to the exponent log base A also cancels out to 1.
I need to know like when things cancel out and when they don't. And when
It's particularly when it's in the same base.
base as in the normal one, right?
Or you move it over, yes.
So if A and the, I guess the little, you know, like the little number is a big number.
Yes.
So let's say log 3 base 3.
Okay.
So do those cancel out?
Log, give me a whole thing. Log base 3.
Log base 3 and a normal 3 next to it.
This cancels out to 1, or it reduces to 1.
Right, because the 3 would cancel out.
Yes. You just be left with 1. If I had log base 3, 3, let's say x, that's the same thing as log 3 plus base 3.
I'm reading this
Log base 3 x. This reduces to 1, so it's 1 plus log base 3x. Yeah. Yeah. But log base 3 3 cancels out. So the properties is, I wrote it here, I guess. Let me, log base A cancels out. Log A to the power of log base A also cancels out. Remember that log base 10 is the same as just a blank log. If you don't see a log, any number is a base 10.
I feel like there's a specific reason behind why that is.
You can't use 1 because 1 doesn't make sense for a log base. I'll let you think about why.
Why can't one be a log 4?
That's fine. So log, let's say if it was log 1, let's say 3 equals x. Let me move it to the other side. So 3 equals 1 to the x power. What's my issue here? What's my issue?
No matter what, you'll
Well, I
never
have
be able
this
to get
question
3.
Exactly. So this is a no solution, which turns out log base 1 is a no solution situation.
Anytime you do 1 anytime you have to say no solution.
I will never give you a log base 1 actively, so
Okay, good.
yeah, but you cannot have a log base 1.
I have this question.
That's why it's divisible 10. They chose 10 over 1.
Why? Everything for 10 works?
10 works and it's useful because you kind of get, scientific method or
Notation, yeah.
yeah, notation. This is kind of like a reverse scientific notation. It's base 10. So let's say if I log 10, let's say 372, I know for a fact, right? Like, let me rewrite this as 372 is equals to 10 to the x power, right? I know the answer. I brought 10 over to the other side. My bad, I should put x here.
Like, I'm saying it's already done.
What I could do, or I know for a fact, 372 is in between 100 and 1000. AKA, I know it's in between 10 to the second and 10 to the third. So usually that's useful because if I know that, then I can reduce things. There's more applications to that, but nothing in our purview, nothing in our what we're learning. Okay. All right. The one thing I'm not going to record because we did a lot of is just the PERT questions, and you have a whole worksheet for that. So I'm not going to record that because I have to make it up.
I don't understand the second part. Like, I don't understand what you're doing. Not the one with E mode I.
Yeah.
All right.
So I was trying to do the homework last night and I couldn't figure out how to.
Okay. So A equals P1 plus. For these questions, will always be plus in this case. So I'm going to be straight up. So R over N and T. Now I can make a word statement. I'm just going to give you variables to work with. Okay. So let's say the amount was 672. Let's say the principal was 400. Let's say the rate, we're going to keep a mystery. We don't know. Let's say the N is every 3 months. So that'll be a 4. And let's say you did it for 10 years. So we'll 10. So I'm going to plug in everything I know. So 672 equals 400. 1 plus R over 4. 4 times 10. So 4 times 10 is 40. So I'll just rewrite that as 40. So I need to get the R by itself. So the first thing I would do is divide both sides by 400. So 672 divided by 400 equals 1 plus R over 4 to the 40th power. Then I'm going to multiply, or I'm going to raise each side by the opposite of the 40th power, which is 1 over 40th power. 1 over 40th power. So now I'm going to rewrite that as 672 over 400, 1 to the 40th power, equals 1 plus R divided by 4, because these cancel out. Then I'm going to subtract 1 on both sides. So 672 divided by 400 minus to the 1/40th power minus 1 equals R to the 4th. And then I'm going to multiply the 4. If I multiply the 4, I have to distribute. So the last thing it's going to look like before I put it in the calculator, 4. 672 over 400, 1 over 40, minus 4 equals R. And I would just type that into my calculator. So 4 parenthesis 672 divided by 400 close parenthesis to the power 1 divided by 40. Click right so you go off the exponent, minus 4. 0.522. So R equals not 0.0522. You have to change it to a percent. So you move it to the twice to the right. So your final answer is 5.22%.
Wait, the 4 distributes to the, like, to negative 1 as well?
It brings to the negative 1 as well. Yeah.
16.9.
Why?
You distribute because you're multiplying everything by 4.
And then 8, and then you do 1, 1, 7,
That's half.
2.
All right. Hope this helps.